In the never-ending power struggles of the 41st millennium, an Arch Cardinal has taken ownership of an RG world as his own. The High Lords of Terra have dispatched a strike force to stamp him out. The spearhead of this strike force, a detachment of Solar Watch Custodes, for it is their job to launch the initial attack. A mission of Adeptus Sororita, who have been caught up in the holy fervor, will fight to the last breath against anyone trying to stop the Cardinal's plans.
Sisters, show no mercy.
Welcome to the War Desk. We are Northern Knights Gaming. I'm Claudio. This is Anthony. We got a great game for you guys today. Anything you want to say about this matchup?
Oh, I'm really excited for it. It's a matchup you don't see often, even in the lore. The Brides of the Emperor versus the Emperor's Chosen, his personal bodyguards. People see him as just a parent figure at most, versus the people who see him as the god. It's a battle of ideologies. I love it.
Definitely a great matchup for lore. I mean, this is just gonna be great all around, I think. This is the Monday night matchup. We have Sisters of Battle versus Solar Watch Custodes. Let's meet the players.
Hey, I'm Philip from NKG, and today we'll be playing Sisters of Battle, our Martyred Lady subfaction.
And Phil's sisters will hit the table with 3 units of Battle Sisters, as well as 2 8-man units of Repentia, 4 Flatulence, a Hospitaller, 2 5-man units of Seraphim, a Penitent Engine, an Immolator with 2 Heavy Flamers, along with a maxed out squad of Retributors, a Rhino to transport those Repentia, Ephraim Stern, Celestine, and the Triumph of St. Catherine.
This battle is really the Emperor's Chosen and the Emperor's Faithful duking it out. Today, I'm hoping to show that the Emperor's Faithful outclass the Emperor's Chosen by a country mile.
Well, Phil's got some high expectations for his sisters, but they have a big hill to climb against Justin's Solar Watch Custodes.
Hi there, I'm Justin of Northern Knights Gaming. Today you'll be watching me play my Adeptus Custodes shield host, Solar Watch.
Well, Justin's list starts out with 3 Custodian Guard squads, a Prosecutor squad, 2 squads of Alaris Custodians, 5 Virtus Praetors, a Shield Captain on a Dawn Eagle jet bike, a Galatus Dreadnought, 2 Vexillas with shields, all being led by the Blade Champion.
I want to beat Phil today because I have history with him. We played Age of Sigmar, he brought a 6 steam tank army versus my 2,000 points of Beastmen. Let's just say that those steam tanks rolled over my Beastmen. I had none left. I want him to feel the same humiliation I did during that battle.
Excuse me, it was 8 steam tanks, please get it right.
Today we'll be doing the conversion mission from the new chapter approved. Hold 1 objective, hold 2, or hold more for 4 points apiece. The second part of this primary objective is Corrupted Ground. Hold 1 in the opponent's deployment zone for 4 points, hold 1 in no man's land for 2 points, or -1 if you don't hold your own. There are 5 objectives in this mission, 3 of which in no man's land with 1 in the middle, and 1 in each player's deployment zone. And as usual, primaries will be scored at the top of turn 2. Phil chooses Engage on all fronts, Grind them down, and Assassination as his secondaries, while the Custodes also choose Engage on all fronts and Grind them down, and focusing on that board control, they go with Stranglehold as their 3rd secondary. Both players making some reserved decisions before putting models on the table. Phil puts 2 squads of Seraphim in Deep Strike, while he puts a unit of Repentia in the Immolator and another unit of Repentia in the Rhino, while Justin puts 2 Alaris Custodians in Deep Strike.
My reserves will be simple. 2-man squad of Alaris Custodians with Guardian Spears goes in reserve. See? Easy.
The Immolator goes down behind a squad of Battle Sisters, while he places 4 Flatulence to screen from that Alaris Custodian Deep Strike.
Next drop for me will be surprise. Another squad of Guardians.
I never saw this coming, I really didn't.
Another squad of Guardians, right here. I'll counteract your Battle Sisters with my Custodian Guard.
This is overkill. That's just overkill, man.
Justin places Custodian Guard on his objective, while Phil places his Penitent Engine right up in the middle.
I'm gonna counter with my own Terminators. I mean, with my own elite slots.
All I'm seeing is overkill here. Oh, is that flatulence? Terminator squad.
I'm gonna counter your flagellants with Terminators.
Ah, yes, more Terminators as far as the eye can see. Phil counters with the Triumph, and a really risky play. He puts the Retributors right up on the deployment line. This is a move that might come back to haunt him.
I'm going to be really trying to get my Rhino and my sisters all into the middle of his formation. Get into the middle of his formation, spread out, do as much carnage as I can, because let's be honest, they're not going to last very long.
Leading from the front.
Indeed, that's how sisters do it.
Very brave.
Indeed, especially against that.
I am gonna do something similar.
Oh, are you? That's not...
My Blade Champion is gonna be here behind his guard.
That's behind.
Exactly.
That's not leading from the front.
With the amount of models I have,
Coward.
he's technically leading from the front.
Coward.
My Blade Champion is a very good melee blender. He has good potential to kill characters, vehicles, monsters, and even infantry. But the most awesome thing to see is the Blade Champion going against the top heroes of the Imperium, or Chaos, or even Demons, fighting them one-on-one and coming out on top.
Justin also being very aggressive, placing his bikes well into the middle. This could be an early standoff between both armies' very important units. Justin's also being very careful where he places those Vexillas, so all those squads in the back can benefit from those banners. And Justin wins the roll-off, so that means Custodes will get turn 1.
I have to declare my martial katas. First martial kata I will declare will be the Callistus. Second kata is going to be Salvus, and the third one will be Dakatarai.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Good luck.
Good luck, have fun.
All right, may the best favorite of the Emperor win, which will be me.
It will be me.
You're both favorites of the Emperor, but maybe one more than the other, we'll see. Justin trying to get himself in early engage on all fronts position as he moves both Custodian guard squads up each flank. And another aggressive move, he boosts his bikes right to the middle objective, meeting the Retributors. This could be the early standoff that we were anticipating.
So because I'm moving through this, I'm going to be suffering a -2 inch penalty, so he's only going to move 11 inches. Up to here. He is going to shift like this. So he's in range of that, and in range of that.
With a bunch of models in the middle of the board, this could get bloody really fast.
First salvo from the shield captain is going into your Retributors. 6 shots, hitting on 2s. All hit. 3s to wound. You need to make 4 saves at AP nothing.
Yeah. 4 saves, AP nothing, 3 ups. 1 goes through.
Make your 6 up.
And then 6 up on the pain. It goes through. She dies.
Rest of the Hurricane Bolters from the squad of bikes will be going into your Retributor squad. Let's try to finish it off.
Justin smelling blood in the water, he goes after those Retributors.
My Virtus Praetors, the 5-man bike squad, have a lot of Hurricane Bolters. If I get close and into rapid fire range, I have 60 shots. I can take down a Rhino, even if it's toughness 7, bring it down to 1 wound, and then shoot it with the rest of my army. That Rhino is gonna be gone. I can't wait to see those Repentia jump out of the Rhino, roll all the ones, and then have only 1 Repentia left coming out of that vehicle. 12 shots per bike.
12 shots per bike. That's 60 shots coming from those jet bikes. That is an absurd amount of firepower right now going into those Retributors. They're going to have to make a ton of saves to survive this onslaught. And if they go down this early, that is definitely going to put a wrench in the Sisters' battle plan.
One unit I'm quite terrified of are those bikes. Those bikes, I've played Custodes in the past. I know what those bikes can do. I'm not looking forward to fighting them.
And neither were those Retributors in the position Phil put them in, because they are gone. They are wiped off the board in the first turn.
No, that was bad. That was really, really bad. Those Retributors right at the line, that was a gamble. It didn't plan out. I was hoping for that turn 1, and that turn 1 happened. His bikes would have been hit with all that Melta, but it just didn't happen.
Well, bye-bye Retributors. I hope Phil has an ace up his sleeve.
Phil said he wanted to take the gamble of putting his Retributors in the front. I also took a gamble by putting my jet bikes so close to the center of the board. Thankfully, I got first turn. They boosted all the way to the center of the board and completely wiped out the Retributor squad.
Justin's loving that. Unfortunately, his bikes did miss the charge, so that makes it turn 1 for the sisters. The first thing Phil does is rolls for his miracle dice, then moves some battle sisters into key positions to hold objectives, as well as pop the Repentia out of the Immolator. Going into the psychic phase, Phil has to concentrate on getting some damage into those jet bikes.
Draxus is going to smite. Come on now, there's only one target. There's only one target there.
There literally is only one target because they're the closest.
Time for my bullets. You have the floor.
Number my bullets. Look at 5 up.
Looks like
Got
passes.
6. It is D3. 2 mortal wounds.
All right, so I'm gonna start taking the mortal wounds on this bike here. I do have a 6-up feel no pain against mortal wounds.
Only takes 1.
So this bike here is down to 4 wounds.
Starting to chip away at those bikes with those mortal wounds.
2d6 attacks. 6 in total. Yeah, it's
Average.
not bad at all.
Phil is going to focus fire the bikes. That's a smart decision.
2 3-up saves.
Yeah.
1 pass, 1 fail.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a command point to re-roll that. So my command point, do I get it back on a 5-up? I do not. Does he save it? The Emperor wills it.
Oh, the Emperor was not with us on that attack.
That bike is still alive.
Yeah, unfortunately
He's taunting you with that 1 wound he has remaining.
Phil chooses Divine Guidance at the beginning of the game to give his sisters -1 AP to unmodified wound rolls of a 6. That gives that Battle Sister squad a good chance of pinging off 1 wound.
Oh, 1 more. So 1 bike is gone.
Finally.
And there it is, that 1/6 that he rolled did not get saved, and that takes off that last wound. 1 bike removed, 4 to go. Phil also unloads the Immolator and the Hunter Killer Missile from the Rhino into the bike squad, removing another bike. Now that bike squad's down to 3 left. That is a pretty good shooting phase for the sisters. Time to charge.
I'm gonna spend 1 command point to do Tanglefoot Grenade.
Okay.
These Custodian Guard are within 12 inches of your Repentia here.
That's unfortunate.
So you lose D6 movement. And how many D6 do you lose?
Nice.
Only 1.
Nice.
Only -1 on that Tanglefoot Grenade. That is not enough to stop those Repentia's charge. They're gonna get in on the bikes and try to do more damage.
I'm really going to try to get my Rhino really up on the field. You know, right in the middle of his entire formation, his bunker as he calls it, and really deploy everything I got in that Rhino, suicide them in. If they succeed, I'm in a very good position. If I'm not, well, I have some backup plans.
He says he has some backup plans. We would all like to see what those are, because he has 0 victory points in the first turn. And with Justin's army spread out on the board, it's going to be very tough for him to get engaged on all fronts. Custodes scoring in the first turn, 2 for engage on all fronts, and 3 for grind them down, for a total of 5 victory points.
Let me say that was a very eventful phase you had. You did a lot more damage in shooting than you did in melee, which surprised me. Now, you shall see turn 2 Custodes what they can do.
I think Justin's getting ready to turn it up another notch. Let's see what they do. He moves his Sisters of Silence into a scoring position for that objective and gets his Custodian Guard onto the No Man's Land objective.
Movement phase is done. I'm gonna spend 1 command point for my jet bikes. Even though they fell back, they can still shoot.
Justin using 1 command point for maneuver and fire, a great strategy right here. As he left combat, he can still unload those guns into one of Phil's units.
We're gonna have all the bikes flank him from the side, take him out all his important infantry, and then go after his characters. I wanna see my Blade Champion go at his St. Catherine's and his Celestine, fight them both in melee combat, and come out on top. Bikes.
The big one.
The bikes are back.
Unfortunately.
All 36 shots from the Hurricane Bolters into Celestine.
Justin selects Celestine as the next victim to those bikes, but can only do enough damage to kill the 2 Gemini. After all those shots, Celestine left unscathed.
I hurt the Emperor's Chosen. Are you crazy?
So, I won't feel bad now when I charge her.
Come on now, don't lie, Justin. You wouldn't have felt bad either way.
12 attacks from the bike captain into Celestine's retinue again.
Okay.
Hitting on 2s, I don't get reroll 1s this time because he's a character.
2 1s.
3 to wound.
Now that Celestine's left wide open, the shield captain's gonna try to put a few wounds into her before they charge her.
So, oh, that's a lot. Okay. That's unfortunate. So I failed 5.
Wow, Celestine takes 5 wounds to just the shield captain in the shooting phase. This is gonna make her an easy target in the fight phase. Let's see if the Emperor's Chosen can actually survive this.
I'm gonna spend 1 CP to give my bikes 2 extra attacks, each one.
Oh, okay.
Because the unit is under half its starting strength, they fight better because they know their brothers have died, and they want to like get revenge.
Revenge on the Saint of the Emperor?
Yep. Do I get a CP back on a 5-up?
You're talking more radical by the minute.
Game is going very well. Custodes all over the place, up in all no man's land, holding all the objectives. This is what my army is built for. Tanking, holding objectives, and pushing him back. And now I need 2s to wound. Strength 7, so I'm wounding on 2s no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving that. Loving that.
8 wounds at AP -3, 2 damage each.
It's 8 4-ups.
See if you can survive that, Celestine, with your 2 wounds left.
No. No. So she saved 3 out of that.
All right.
So 5 went through.
She is gonna go take a nap.
So Celestine goes down in top of turn 2, but Phil rolls a 5 and brings her back, placing her right beside those jet bikes that just killed her. Phil then moves his St. Catherine's along with a plethora of characters to meet up with those Custodian Guard on the middle objective. After this movement, it's shaping up that there's going to be a huge fight in the middle of the board, as well as round 2 with Celestine versus those bikes. Phil being very aggressive, meeting the Custodians at every single position on the board. Instead of trying to go around and get another objective, he's hitting them head on.
I knew he was going to try to get to the center of the board and just hold that with his brick of an army. So with the Retributors right there, if they didn't get wiped off turn 1, they would have been giving him a painful experience.
Would've, should've, could've, Phil. It didn't happen. But he does get the sisters on the board with 6 points, taking 4 for primaries and 2 for engage on all fronts. While the Solar Watch take engage on all fronts, grind them down, and stranglehold this turn, as well as 14 for primaries for a total of 27 victory points. Custodes turn 3.
Well, looks like she's just gonna look at you menacingly and see that the Psyker.
You found the Psyker, you did.
But unfortunately, we couldn't kill the Psyker. We'll do that next turn. Blade Champion will be charging into the Triumph of St. Catherine.
You've chosen death, I see. You've chosen death.
I like your confidence, Phil, but the way this game is going, I'm pretty sure Justin's not scared to charge anything on the board right now.
Dreadnought is gonna fight into Celestine. 6 attacks base. I get D3 extra attacks because he charged.
While the last remaining jet bike was sent off to grab an objective, the Dreadnought will try to take out Celestine and some Repentia.
7 4-ups. No, she's gone. Unfortunately, she is gone.
And that is the end of Celestine. While Justin chooses the Dreadnought to fight first into Celestine, that allows Phil to interrupt and fight with the Triumph first.
Phil, I'm very sorry. I basically passed all the saves.
I'm starting to
Except
feel
1.
like my sisters aren't exactly with great favor with the Emperor right now.
Emperor blessed, Emperor blessed. So,
okay.
I have, it's damage 2.
Yes.
So 5-up Feel No Pains. He is down to 6.
Okay.
And that's the end of turn 3. Phil does manage to get 2 more for engage on all fronts, as well as 4 more for take and hold for a total of 12 victory points, while Justin scores across the board, as well as 2 for corrupted ground for a total of 49 victory points. End of turn 3, and the sisters are getting stomped. It looks like it's going to be a one-sided match. I don't agree with where he put those retributors. What do you think about that?
Well, that was a really dumb play, and I would say it's a little more than a stomp. It's just he's getting destroyed right now. He needs to get insanely lucky to just come back at all.
Yeah, I mean, well, I get what he was trying to do with those retributors. He tried to get them up early, get damage into those bikes, because Justin was really aggressive with where he put those bikes. But if he didn't get turn 1, it basically kind of left him open. Now, what's he going to do damage with? That's the question right now. How is Phil going to do damage to these tanky Custodes?
Turn 1 could have gone to anyone, really. Like, the bikes were up really far up. They were out in the open, just right in front of the sisters.
Yeah.
They deployed right across each other. No matter what, turn 1, somebody was just getting kicked in. Like, they're just out.
Yeah, it was very aggressive by both of them. But let's see what happens. Let's go back to the game. We'll be back at the end of the game to do a post analysis of what we think happened, and enjoy the rest of the game. Welcome back. Top of turn 4, Custodes. Not much went well for the sisters in the first 3 turns. Let's see if Phil can turn that around. Even though that one remaining jet bike is still being a nuisance, killing off some battle sisters, piling in, and then finishing off the squad, as well as shooting down 2 Seraphim, holding a 4th objective, as well as finishing off those Seraphim in the fight phase. And that Rhino looks to be in a horrible position as the Alaris Terminators surrounded, as well as both Vexillas. On to sisters, turn 4.
Draxus is going to smite these 2 guard here.
Those 2 Custodian guard in the middle will take a smite.
Yes! Yes!
Roll the d6.
Super smite.
Let's see how much damage they can do.
Okay.
What? What? 6 mortal wounds?
I couldn't have asked for a better result there. Really, I couldn't have. Finally, something went my way with the smite. Amazing smite, boxcars, and then it went to a 6. It was perfect. I could not have asked for a better result. Finally, something happened on turn 4.
Smiting that Custodian guard unit off the table, and the Emulator kills that last jet bike.
Finally, his bikes are gone!
Phil getting the moral victory, getting rid of those Praetors, but he waves the flag at the end of the 4th turn.
Well, good game. Good game.
Good game, Phil.
Good game to both our players. Here's the final score. Phil ends with 32 plus 10 for painted, actually getting 8 points on taken hold in that last turn, as well as 2 points for corrupted ground. Justin maxes out on primaries, getting 45 points for a total of 88 victory points, winning this game easily.
So, Custodes are a really strong army if you can keep rolling 2s and 6s. I cannot control rolling of 1s. I felt like I shouldn't have deployed my Terminators so up north. I ended up leaving the middle of the map completely uncontested to the opponent.
The Miracle Dice did not, I was not in the Emperor's favor this game, let's just say that. I think taking engage on all fronts was a very poor decision. It did not do anything this game. I was always on the back foot the whole time. I couldn't get to any of the corners. I got to 2 corners consistently, but then I just got wiped off. Engage was a horrible decision, horrible decision.
The game was fun. I was able to smash Phil's army in, smash it. Nothing was left on the board. I had 15 models left. He had maybe 5 or 6. I don't need to look at the board. That's important enough. I'm more than satisfied losing to 8 steam tanks. Phil, I hope you understand that I cherish these moments where I crush your army, and I hope we see it many more times in the future.
And that's a wrap on the first Monday night matchup. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. There's our final score. Thanks for joining us, guys, here at the War Desk. It was a great game. A little bit of a stomp in the first 3 turns, but we kind of expected something along the lines of this because Custodes are really strong right now, especially with this new codex they have.
I was expecting sisters to be stronger in the first turn or 2, especially before the Custodes got in their face. But they turned it around a bit near the end there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crucial moment when he had that smite, took over the center board again. I mean, if it was another 6th round like we used to play in the 8th and 6th round, maybe they could have had another turn of good scoring. It would have been a little bit closer, but turn 5, not much you can do at that point, even with the triumph in the middle of the board there. Once again, the final score, 42 to 88 Solar Watch Custodes take the Monday night matchup. Great matchup. Justin got a little bit of retribution there for losing that last match to Phil. So it was great to watch. Fun time. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're Northern Knights Gaming, and we're going to bring another match for you guys next month. Stay tuned.
The Nids are coming.
The Nids are coming, Phil says.
We'll see you next time on Monday night matchup.
They're going to be a good list. It's actually going to be good.
He's going to get destroyed.
Once again, we are Northern Knights Gaming. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Monday night matchup.
Hope we see it many more times in the future.
I'm not holding back next AOS game we play.
Pardon?
I'm not holding back next AOS game we play.
I've known Justin for a long time now. We have a lot of history in these games with GW. And we have a pretty even wins to losses right now.
Hold on, let me get my vocals up. Okay, got it. I know his Herodotus take a lot of IQ to play. I'm going to make sure to burn out all his IQ till he becomes double digit or even room temperature IQ. Like that?